guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you my November setup. We are into fall and I'm seeing the leaves changing color, which is so beautiful, and I wanted to capture that in my November theme. It's been a pretty long time since I've touched watercolor, but I decided to do a watercolor cover page for this month. So here I pre-cut some watercolor pages and pasted it into my bullet journal so that it would allow me to work with more layers and more techniques as opposed to using the bullet journal paper directly, which doesn't take too much water very well. Going into this theme, my main thoughts were that I wanted to focus on the fall colors of red, orange, yellow, green, and browns, and some blue as well. And I also wanted to really play with wet on wet and then add some details with some more pigmented, less watercolor on my brush, and just decided to play around with that. And I also wanted to focus on the feeling of tranquility. Another technique I tried to play around with this time round with watercolor was to paint in layers and try out some glazing, as well as just trying to bring out different colors by overlapping them on top of each other. I don't really know all the terminology as you know, don't really learn my mediums the way I should, which is I should watch tutorials and learn the techniques, which I don't. So I don't really quite know the proper way, so please bear with me for that. But anyhow, I had been working on some layering for this painting, and as mentioned, I don't usually do that with watercolor, and that's because I don't usually let the layers dry because I am rather impatient with my paintings, and so watercolor takes a little bit longer for each layer to dry, and if you paint on top of the previous layer before it's fully dry, then it will bleed into each other. And so the whole layering I typically don't do, since I often do my paintings in one sitting. However, for this month, because I did my painting in short bursts over different days due to time constraints, it actually worked in my favor, allowing me to paint in layers and really add more depth and more dimension to my painting. That being said, I don't really know the medium very well or the techniques, and I'm still lacking practice for sure. I definitely need a lot more hours for watercolor and gouache and all other mediums before I really am able to bring out the images that I have in my mind. And so there are some mistakes or some areas of my theme that I feel like didn't quite go according to plan. For example, with the wet on wet, I think sometimes I had too much water pooling, which caused some of the paper to start coming off, so I really need to work on controlling how much water and how much paint, the ratios there. Those are all aspects that I still need to figure out, but I'll work on it. And I did still have a lot of fun painting this. I hope you enjoy watching it as well. Now towards the end of the painting, I'm adding in my metallic and holographic watercolor highlights. Unlike my other typical paintings, I'm not adding as much of the metallic and holographic watercolors. I just mostly use them as accents to add a little bit of sparkle here and there. I just didn't want it to be too overwhelming, as the focus really was on a kind of serene and tranquil fall scene. So hopefully I captured that balance well. And now for a flip through. Although not the focus of the painting, I think my favorite part of this theme was adding the 3 koi fish, which represents my little lovely family of 3. The rest of my spreads are very simple, mostly minimalistic, focused on solids for my daughter, as well as an easy task list that I can fill out day to day. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.